The sun hung high above Eternia, its golden rays bathing the sprawling fields of Castle Grayskull in a warm glow. All was peaceful, but He-Man, the protector of this mystical land, sensed a disturbance. He stood on the steps of Grayskull, sword of power in hand, as the sorceress approached him with urgency in her eyes. "He-Man," she began, her voice filled with concern. "Skeletor has meddled with forces beyond his understanding. He's opened a rift between our world and another, a world that houses an artifact of unimaginable power." He-Man's brow furrowed. "What kind of artifact?" "The Amulet of Eternity," she replied. "It holds the energy to disrupt the balance of the multiverse. If Skeletor gains control of it, he could destroy not just Eternia, but countless other worlds." Without hesitation, He-Man vowed to retrieve the artifact. "I will stop Skeletor and bring back the amulet before it's too late." The sorceress nodded, summoning the power of Grayskull to open a portal to this new world. "Be wary, He-Man. This world is not like our own. Its champions are as formidable as you, if not more so." Stepping through the portal, He-Man found himself in the scorching deserts of Kahndaq. The landscape was unlike anything he had seen. Vast dunes of golden sand stretched endlessly, punctuated by ancient ruins that whispered tales of gods and kings. The air crackled with an unfamiliar energy, a mixture of magic and something far more primal. As He-Man began his search for the amulet, he noticed how the people of Kahndaq cowered in fear as they passed him. Whispers spread quickly through the crowds. "An invader has come." Word of He-Man's presence soon reached the ruler of Kahndaq, Black Adam, who ruled with a firm hand and an unyielding sense of justice. From his palace, Black Adam rose into the sky, his eyes glowing with the power of the gods. He flew over the city, his voice echoing like thunder. "Who dares trespass in my domain?" Meanwhile, He-Man discovered the amulet buried within the ruins of an ancient temple. Its energy pulsed faintly, and He-Man could sense its volatile power. "This must be the artifact the sorceress spoke of," he muttered, reaching for it. Before his hand could touch the amulet, a bolt of lightning struck the ground before him, sending sand and debris flying. He-Man shielded his face and looked up to see Black Adam descending like a storm. Black Adam's voice boomed. "You have made a grave mistake coming here, stranger. State your purpose before I judge you." He-Man stood tall, unflinching. "I seek this amulet to save my world. It threatens to destroy everything I hold dear." Black Adam's eyes narrowed. "Your world means nothing to me. This artifact belongs to Kahndaq. Leave now or face my wrath." He-Man tightened his grip on the sword of power. "I respect your strength, but I cannot leave without the amulet. Stand down, or I will have no choice but to fight." Black Adam's response was a smirk, one filled with confidence. "You dare challenge a god?" The tension was palpable as the two warriors sized each other up, their powers radiating like two storms on a collision course. The skies above Kahndaq darkened as Black Adam's divine energy mingled with the ancient magic of He-Man's sword. The battle was inevitable. Two champions, each with their own purpose, would now clash over an artifact that held the fate of their worlds in its balance. The desert air was thick with tension, charged by the clashing energies of two mighty warriors. Black Adam hovered above the sands, his figure outlined by crackling lightning. Below, He-Man stood with his sword of power gleaming in the dim light of Kahndaq's ominous skies. The Amulet of Eternity pulsed faintly between them, its energy promising devastation to any unworthy wielder. Without further warning, Black Adam unleashed a storm of lightning from his fingertips. The bolts tore through the air, striking the ground around He-Man in explosive bursts of energy. But the champion of Eternia was undeterred. With a single swing of his sword, He-Man deflected the lightning, creating a burst of light that momentarily blinded his opponent. "You'll have to do better than that," He-Man roared, charging forward with the speed of a seasoned warrior. Black Adam descended swiftly, meeting He-Man's charge head-on. Their clash sent shockwaves rippling through the desert, toppling nearby ruins and scattering sand into the air. He-Man's raw strength was immense, his blows capable of splitting boulders. But Black Adam's power, imbued by the gods, was equally formidable. His strikes carried the force of divine wrath, each one testing the limits of He-Man's endurance. "You fight well," Black Adam admitted as their battle raged on. "But your strength pales in comparison to mine." He-Man smirked, wiping blood from the corner of his mouth. "I've faced gods before. You're not the first and you won't be the last." The two warriors exchanged blows that shook the very foundation of the desert. Black Adam's speed was unmatched. He darted around He-Man, striking with precision and ferocity. He-Man, however, relied on his experience and unyielding willpower. With every attack, he adapted, using the Sword of Power not just as a weapon, but as a shield against Black Adam's relentless assault. As the battle reached its peak, Black Adam summoned a massive bolt of lightning from the heavens, directing it at He-Man. The desert lit up as the bolt struck, creating a deafening explosion. When the dust cleared, He-Man stood firm, his sword glowing with absorbed energy. "My turn," He-Man said, his voice steady despite the punishment he had endured. He channeled the energy from his sword, releasing a beam of pure power that caught Black Adam mid-flight, sending him crashing into the sands. But Black Adam was far from defeated. Rising from the crater, he roared in fury, his eyes glowing brighter than before. "You are strong, Eternian, but I am invincible." Black Adam closed the distance in an instant, delivering a thunderous punch that sent He-Man flying into the ruins of the temple. Stones crumbled around the champion of Eternia as he struggled to rise, his body bruised and battered. Black Adam followed, hovering above him like a dark god of vengeance. "This ends now," Black Adam declared, raising his hands to summon the full power of his lightning. He-Man, breathing heavily, gripped the Sword of Power tightly. "For Eternia," he whispered to himself before standing to face his opponent one last time. As Black Adam unleashed his final attack, He-Man charged forward, dodging the lightning with incredible agility. With a mighty leap, he closed the distance, bringing his sword down in a powerful arc. The blade struck Black Adam's chest, its magic cutting through the godly energy that protected him. Black Adam staggered, his strength faltering for the first time in the battle. He-Man seized the moment, delivering a crushing punch that sent Black Adam crashing to the ground. The dust settled and the desert grew silent. He-Man stood victorious, his sword pointed at the defeated Black Adam. "You are powerful," He-Man said, his voice steady but respectful. "But even gods can fall when faced with unwavering resolve." Black Adam, bruised but not broken, met He-Man's gaze. "You've won this day, Eternian. Take the amulet and leave Kahndaq. But know this, our paths will cross again." He-Man nodded, retrieving the Amulet of Eternity. Without another word, he turned and walked away, disappearing into the portal back to Eternia. Black Adam watched him go, his pride wounded, but his spirit unbroken. This was not the end. It was merely the beginning of a rivalry that would echo across the multiverse.